Okay, so I'm working on replacing the valve covers on both sides of a 2007 Ford Explorer Sport Trac. I looked all through YouTube to find helpful videos on that, and they don't have one for that particular year. I think they have them for 2004, 2005, which are very helpful, but they leave out some things that I think you're going to need to really do this job and to see what you're going to get yourself into. Okay, so first off, to get the throttle body off, you're going to have to disconnect a ton of hoses, wires, vacuum lines. It's a big job. It's probably it's not that difficult. It's just there's so many things to remove to get to tear off the throttle body. And the main thing on this throttle body here is getting to, as you can see, all the star type connectors they have on this. There's two here, there's one down there, one here, another one between there, there, and there. Well, this back one, you're looking at the way it's put on, this back one right here is nearly impossible to get. I mean, I had to really work on finding the right tools to reach that and get behind. You have to climb up on your truck here. Watch out for this. I put down a rubber padding all over here to climb up on here so I could reach way back here to get to that bolt. To get to this bolt right here, you see there's these star connectors. I don't know what they're called, but this is a number 30 on there. And I had to use a rig like this with this is like a driver extension, and have another extension here to get on there like that. And you have to kind of feel around to get to the back. You have to like push it on there with your hand, and then when you got it, you go ahead and torque it through. But the real problem is there is so little room back here that when you have that on there, you see this hose right here is right in the way of getting a good connect onto that bolt. So just want to make you aware of that. The other main thing is to get to this valve cover here, to take this one off. This water line here is tucked back underneath the alternator. And the way that this poorly designed valve cover is, where it kind of elbows out and comes up straight here, it really makes it hard for you to get this hose out. So I actually had to loosen up my alternator a little bit. I didn't want to have to take the bolt off or anything, but it just, as you can see, this is so tight, and this is tucked way underneath here. This pipe is so tight, I had to like just give it just a little bit of room so I could just kind of yank that out of there. And so that's a mess. And you have to disconnect the water line here, which you're gonna get water everywhere, so just be prepared for that. So I've already done the right side of the valve cover, put that gasket on, put the hoses back on, but I tell you what, this is quite a job for just getting to the valve covers. And if you're gonna do it, I've already taken like a whole day just to get to this point, and another half a day to get the right side valve cover on. So now I'm gonna do the left side, and that'll probably take all day too, just to get it and clean it, put the new cover on, the new gasket on, and it's a big job. So the other thing you're going to need to get is, when you take the throttle body off, this thing is corroded. This, whatever it is, gasket is corroded. You're also going to need to get new gaskets for the throttle body, this manifold. So that's additional work that you're going to need to do. This is pretty easy to do here, but just be prepared to get new gaskets there as well. Anyway, hope you found this video helpful, because it is a big job. It's not too terrible if you've replaced valve covers before. I've done it on you know, vintage cars and old cars, but it's a whole new ball game with a newer car, and this is a 2007. So just way too many sensors and overloading with wires and cables. They got them tucked in there so deep that it's just a pretty big job to do. And I'm sure a shop is probably going to charge anywhere probably $2,000 to $3,000. I haven't priced it, but hell, that's a mortgage payment for me. So I had some time over the weekend, got some beautiful weather, and just go ahead and take it off. All right, well, back here again on this valve cover. I've got all the bolts off of the valve cover, and it's loose here, but I can't get it out without removing this fuel line, and this connection here I can't seem to break free, so I'm going to have to remove the fuel line rail here, moving this bolt back here, and pulling the fuel line off all these injector heads. Looks like that's the only way I'm going to be able to release that to get that valve cover off. So just another lovely tip for you on this ass whipping job. Take care. Yeah, so back here at the valve cover job, I ended up having to take the fuel line off. There's two bolts there to get past the valve cover, past this line here. But this fuel line part right here requires a quick disconnect of some kind. It's a tool that I don't have, so I just had to remove it here, the fuel line, and I was able to wiggle it out from underneath here. And even with that fuel line removed, it still took a little work to get that valve cover off, wiggling it under the fuel line. So be prepared for that. Now I just got to clean up all this dirt stuff here. Fuel will pour out of these fuel injectors, so be prepared for the gas coming out of there, and have some rags ready to clean all that up. There you are. Okay, real quick, this is very important. Be sure to connect this sensor plug here and this wire connector before you put the throttle body back on. It is under the throttle body, and I made the horrible mistake of not catching this before I put the throttle body back on and bolted it all down with the hard to reach bolts and everything. And I can make the wire connection, but that sensor in the back, you have to take that throttle body off and make sure that that's connected, or it won't work. So be sure to follow this instruction. Thank you. So I hope you found this video helpful on your project, and do me a favor and give me a thumbs up or a like. That would really help me out. But also I want you to go to www.yougotagreatdeal.com and subscribe. This is a new marketing platform that I'm building, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Thank you very much.